Okay, everything's wired in, everything's been tested and works great. It's time to now attach the pedals to the board. There's a number of different ways you can use this. Some people like to use cable ties. Velcro works really well, but you've got to get the right Velcro. It's got to be industrial strength Velcro. This is stuff that I've been using lately. It's called pedal board tape. Basically it's just one long strip, but instead of having the hook or loop, it just these little mushroom things just clip on together and it acts just like Velcro. The tape on the back is very strong. You can get this at bondingsolutions.co.uk. It's called pedal board tape. It's also really good because it acts as the hook on Velcro. So for example, on the bridge here I've already got some loop Velcro, the fluffy part of the Velcro, and it works brilliantly on that sort of Velcro as well. So you know, it ticks a lot of boxes. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of white spirit. I'm going to clean the base, the pedals, and make sure it's all really clean and tidy. I'm going to just put a little bit of the stuff. You don't need a lot. A little bit does absolutely fine. The back. By the time you get to this stage, you want to make sure that when this goes down on the board, you only really want to have to be moving it again in an emergency. Okay, so that's exactly where I want it. Make sure everything's all lined up. And that's it. So, you know, that's not quite solid on there now, that's not going anywhere. I'll go through and repeat that for the rest of the pedals, and we'll have our board ready to go. One last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label up the pedals that are in the loop. So we've got this label maker that we sell online, and we have this really great tape. It's a instead of your normal white tape with black writing on it, this is black tape with white writing on it. So I'm going to quickly label up the fuzz face. I'm just going to put the initials FF there. You'll see that it's a black tape there with FF. Now white off, and just stick this here. There we go. The last thing we're going to do now is program up a couple of these presets. I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So you see all of our effects here, and all of our effects are plugged into these loops in the back. Yep, numbered 1 through to 10. Now if we go down to one of our presets here, let's have a look at 1. Okay, so we can see our effects loops dip switches here, and then we have these control dip switches here. I'll get to the control switches in 1 second. First, let's look at these effects loop switches. It is literally as simple as, okay, let's say I want my AC plus and my tremolo on at the same time. My AC plus is plugged into loop 3, turn on loop 3, and the tremolo is plugged into loop 7, turn on loop 7. Now, when I hit that preset, pan back, you'll see lights number 3 and 7 have come on the effects loops to indicate that my signal is now going through the AC plus and the tremolo. Let's say I want to go to a really heavy sound. It's just my severe. Severe is in number 5. I'm going to turn number 5 on preset number 2. Now when I hit preset number 2, you'll see it turns off loops 3 and 7, and it's simply turn on loop 5. So instead of having to turn off 3 and then 7, then turn on 5, all I've had to do is hit one switch. Okay, we've had a quick look at programming these effects loops, which I think you'll see just could not be any easier. Now I'm going to take you quickly through these control features here. Each of the presets on the Pro 14 has these 6 control loops here, and on the left hand side there's a key, so you've always got a quick reference to what the control features are. These control features really are what separate the TheGigRig from any other switching system out there. Control feature 1 is an amplifier built into the post effects loops. Now why is this really cool? Let me show you. If I go to my bypass sound, alright, clear, beautiful. Now if I go to this preset here that we've done with the AC Plus and the tremolo, the sound is great, it's exactly what I want, but the nature of the tremolo is it makes you feel that the volume has dropped. All I need to do is turn on that volume control, and now I have access here to, I can boost it, or if I have a pedal that sounds great really loud with everything turned up, then I can also attenuate it, so I can turn it right down. I'll show you how transparent it is. Let's go to unity gain. There it is. So here's it with it off, and here it is with it on. The second control feature is a pre-boost buffer. So let's have a look at that. You'll see this little knob here. So that is the pre-boost buffer. That sets a level to buffer the input to the effects. So the post volume does the output and keeps it nice and linear, but the pre-boost is a completely different circuit. So things like choruses and you know, clean delays, they love having a signal, a buffered input, but things like fuzzes and that don't. So you can select whether or not that preset is going to be buffered. Switches 3 and 4 operate these two control switches here. If you have an amplifier, let me just put those on, you can see them. If you have an amplifier that has 2 channels, you can then program up the channels of the amplifier as part of the preset as well. And of course, we have control switches 5 and 6, which operate these 2 outputs. So if you have 2 amplifiers, you can select which amplifier you want per preset. You can even have them both on. The great thing about this system is output 2 is isolated and phase reversible. So no matter what 2 amplifiers you use, you won't get any ground hum, and you can always make sure they're in phase with each other. The very last thing we're going to have a look at are these mode switches. Each rail has a mode switch. In position 1, we have what we call single mode, which means if I press a preset, it'll turn off the previous preset. This is what saves you all the tap dancing, because you've got instant access to all the combinations of effects loops and control features. If, however, I put the top rail in mode 2, the top rail becomes basically an instant access rail or a multi-rail, or in multi-mode, which means I can add the presets on top of the preset on the bottom rail. When I go to the bottom rail, it clears those presets. So let's say I have my AC Plus, which I have programmed here in preset number 1. Now, if I want to add a little bit of delay to that sound, if I want to add some tremolo to that sound, now I need to go straight from that sound straight to a very heavy tone. I have that controlled here in preset number 2. When I press that, it turns off everything previously. So the mode switches give me an incredible amount of flexibility, because I can add these top rail tones to any of the chord tones I have going on the bottom. So I can set up my, my clean sound, my crunch sound, a heavy crunch sound, a solo sound, a clean solo sound, and then add my modulation and delay effects as I want to. And here she is. She's ready to go. She's going to make a quick trip across the pond to the guys at Guitar Player. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been loads of fun. I'm going to be doing loads more things like this. So subscribe to the channel, or go to TheGigRig.com and sign up to our newsletter, and I'll be able to let you know when we have new videos coming out. Okay, have a fantastic day.